Back here with Apollo, Justice State's attorney. We were just absolutely plowing through this quest last time. Quest? Case, I guess is more of the word that we would use. Things were very, very getting intense. I've got a bit of a headache, so I'm sorry if I talk... I don't know why I keep saying stuff like that. I never talk legibly anyways. Case in point, legibly is not... I never speak in a way that is conducive to people understanding what I mean. I cannot do such things. So why would I even try? All right, so this isn't even in the part where we can pick apart the testimony. This is literally just the first time she's giving this testimony about what she was actually doing in the clinic that day. If we know that she probably wasn't trying to warn him, and or how she was trying to warn him. Let's get on with it. Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. I wanted that chart, but I failed to get it. So I went back to the clinic later. Right, she's already admitted that she was just in it to try and get the chart back because she was just in a relationship with Walkie for the money. So. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof that I sold the pistol, do you? And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in the temple or not.
You went back later.
That chart was dangerous, you understand? I needed to get rid of it, so that's why I went that day. But you couldn't get the chart then, could you? And later that night, Dr. Maractus was shot. I heard about the shooting, waited a day, but then I had to go back. No easy feat with the cops all over the place. Ah, that was you? Apollo, that sound, it came from behind this door. Someone's in there. A break-in! They left through that window! So you were the burglar. That was you two? If only I had one more minute. Then I could have opened that safe and gotten the chart.
What? That's trespassing. I'm brazen at that.
Yeah, well, I guess that's not really the crime this testimony is about, though, so... Oh, is this a trial for trespassing now? Besides, you can't blame a girl for wanting to protect herself. They are gangsters, you know. Not wrong, even though you're kind of the worst. I mean, doesn't mean you instantly deserve death.
In any case, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination.
Admitting the little crime to avoid the big one, eh? There was something like that in one of the other games. One of the people tried to get convicted of another crime so that they had an alibi for not being convicted of a different crime. It was super cool. I think it was in Trials and Tribulations. Maybe that's not right. Actually, it might have been in Justice for All. Brain no remember so well. Okay, I guess I went to the clinic that day to speak to doctor. No bracelet, just for now. That seems pertinent to note. I wanted to get that chart, but I failed to get it, so I went back to the clinic later. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do ya? And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in the temple or not. I think we're seeing her true colors now. She's trying to push all the blame on Walkie. And she's getting away with it. My bracelet didn't react to anything this time. I guess that means there's nothing wrong with nothing worth perceiving. Time to get old school. Aye. You don't even have proof that I stole the pistol, do you? I mean, not exactly. And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. Yeah, but there were also footprints from the slippers that you wore. And I still don't remember exactly. Oh, right. It was just that I think the only reason that, oh my God, I have 0 health. I think the only reason that, what's his face? I have his name in here somewhere, but I gotta remember it because my remembering powers are weak and I need to train them. Stickler, Wesley Stickler. The only reason he lied about being on the north side was just so that it was less likely he could have ditched the undergarments in the trash bin. So I think the fact that he was shot in the temple, I think Maractus was, pardon me, I think the fact that Maractus was shot in the temple, I believe that it still holds with all the testimony we've received so far. Hold it! Yeah, but what? You have nothing to say. This case is over. It was over the moment that brat was seen in the park. What's the point in dragging it out any further? Ouch. I like how my pressing point there was just, no. It just didn't help. That would be me if I was actually in this position. You don't even have proof that I stole that pistol, do you? Hold it! No, I don't! But you could have stolen it. Could have? Is this some new definition of proof? Well, ask Walkie. He'll tell us. Might I remind you this is a cross-examination? You might want to keep your baseless theories to yourself. He's right, isn't he? Yeah, that didn't really help. I'll press on... This doesn't seem like it's wrong. How did you expect to get that chart back if you weren't gonna threaten him, is what I want to know. Ask him really nicely. Hold it! Why that day? That brat was uncontrollable. He was ready to kill. And that would bring in the police. And that chart would become evidence. and I'd be hung out to dry. But the police didn't check the safe, did they? Well, they thought the crime scene was the park. I'll make sure the responsible parties feel the heat. Such sloppiness won't be tolerated, yeah? At least it can't be Gumshoe this time. I'm kind of thankful that's sloppiness myself, actually. For that sloppiness myself. I just said thankful that sloppiness, and that's not proper grammar. My bad. So you went back to the clinic later. Hold it! Later? When I heard what happened, well, I was too scared to do anything that day, so I waited until the day after. The 16th, was it? Of course, you and that meddling kid had to get in my way. Alright, Scooby-Doo villain.
But why didn't Dr. Marcus keep that chart around? It was clearly dangerous for him. He could have burned it.
Because he's a coward. That chart was his insurance.
Insurance?
My signature on that chart, to be more specific, that made sure I couldn't betray him. I guess that makes enough sense. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Max was shot in the temple or not. Hold it! Maybe it does. The doctor was shot in the right temple, yes? So it seems. Let's review the facts again, shall we? Yes, please. That would be helpful, because I kind of forget if it was legit. Like, if I was pretty sure we ended up in a position where we're like, okay, this makes enough sense. If the killer had shot from this location, the bullet would have struck our victim square in the forehead. However, the entry wound was in the right temple. I think my UPS just made a bunch of weird noises. What are you doing? Is this from when I spilled water in you that one time in Dark Souls? Jesus Christ. Sorry about that.
Yes, we heard testimony on this yesterday. At the time of the shooting, the witness was standing here. Just before the gun was fired, he shouted. The victim turned his head to look and was shot.
Wait a minute, that would be in the right temple, but wasn't the stickler up on the north side here where the garbage was? Wait, I'm confoozled. I may have screwed myself up. But that testimony was proven to be a lie. Okay, good. Sorry, I'm just with a ball here. What the hell are you talking about? Our egregious panty snatcher, Mr. Stickler, did witness the crime, but he was standing to the north, next to the trash can where he tossed those panties. If Mr. Stickler shot it from this location, the bullet couldn't hit his right temple. Silly attorney. What? Do you remember what you had for breakfast that morning? Do you remember, Choosy? I always have a glass of milk for breakfast. What matters is one thing. The doctor was shot in his right temple. If that's the case, there can be only one explanation. The panties guy was mistaken. Objection! Wait, but his location was proven. You can't write that off as him being mistaken. Then why don't you show us, Hair Forehead? Show you what? Must I explain everything? It would help. Very well. Let's recap then. If the witness, Panties Guy, was standing to the north, then where was the shooter standing? From what location did the killer shoot the victim?
But wait, if the witness was standing there, how could anyone shoot the victim in the right temple?
If they were in the stand. I merely laid out the facts for us. It is up to the one possessing the shiny forehead to show us. That was a bit of an overzealous laugh. If you can, that is. Walkie Kataki was standing at the killer mark, Wesley Stickler at the witness mark, and of course Pal Maractus was at the victim mark.
Let's hear what the defense has to say. Where was the killer standing when they shot the victim?
They were inside the stand. Oh, someplace else. As the facts stand now, we can't explain this crime without contradicting ourselves at some point. But I know why. The real killer shot from an entirely different location, because we saw the one footprint outside the stand, right? So if they somehow climbed in, I didn't really see, can the stand be climbed into? I guess it could, right? Well, it's kind of hard to, oh yeah, well, there's like an inside. I mean, I guess there's have to be an inside if you're gonna be selling noodles out of it. Yeah, sure. Shot him from the, Maractus turns to look, this away, and someone's inside here. Bang, shoots out of that way and hits him in the right temple. Makes enough sense. And then he slumps in the middle of the, yeah, that works. What are you talking about? I don't see any other place.
Apparently Mr. Justice does. Let's hear it. Where in the park did the killer shoot the victim from?
Maybe you didn't even let me say it. It's time to raise the roof. And the stakes. Huh? Penalties are such frightening things, don't you think? But what if they were a bit more terrifying? I don't really see why I needed the sick riff to accompany that, but I'm not sad about it. Oh, so it can just one-shot me now. That's cool. Like so.
Double penalty?
Hair Forehead wishes to take us in a new direction? Then he must be ready for the challenges ahead. Okay. Challenge accepted. It's justice time. Oh, are you sure, Apollo? The key is the witness, Mr. Stickler's testimony. If we believe that, and we know where he stood, and the victim turned when he shouted, there's only one place the killer could have been. The killer shot the victim from here! Right inside the... I just moved the window. God damn it, that's gonna screw the whole recording up. Sorry, it's perfect again. Because there's no max screen for this, so I'm playing it in windowed, and I reached up to hit present, and I just grabbed the top of the window and threw it down. Here, please! Take that! I believe we all owe a debt of gratitude to Miss Alita Tiola. What do you mean? Thanks to you, we had a chance to review the crime. And this time, we were prepared. We know that Wesley Stickler was telling the truth. We should have listened to him from the beginning. Now the screen will go white for approximately half a minute. That was a long time. It's just with the emulator, anytime it goes 3D, it has a bit of trouble with it seems. Wesley Stickler was standing next to the trash can when he saw the two men. He shouted, just as he told us in his testimony. And the victim turned to look in his direction. A shot was fired. The victim was hit in the right temple.
Oh no!
Oh yes! Which direction was his right temple facing at that moment? That's right, toward the noodle stand.
Wait a minute, noodle stands can't fire guns. Order, order, order. So you're saying the killer was inside the noodle stand?
What? Stop it. Let's think about this a little bit more, shall we? You say the killer was inside the noodle stand, which would mean the victim, Dr. Maractus, came to the park wheeling his own murderer in the cart behind him. Not necessarily. There were footprints right behind it, or although I think they were facing towards the stand, right? So maybe like someone climbed out backwards or they ran into just at the last second. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I think you'd notice if you were pulling someone along. It was dark. There's something we should worry about before that. Why was he pulling the noodle stand in the first place? Let's deal with our problems one at a time, shall we? Maybe someone made him carry that just with at gunpoint. Someone was hiding in the stand. We have not come this far to talk about possibilities. Let's talk about proof, baby. Show us evidence that proves someone was in that stand. Can I prove that? You want evidence that someone was in that stand? Well, too bad! I mean, I suppose I don't actually have evidence that legitimately points to the footprint outside, but this is certainly seeming like what it is that this like, she wore the slippers so that it wouldn't be identifiably her footprint, but I don't see how that matches up with, the paint splotched outside. I guess they just walked through the paint by accident, but, I don't know that I have proof precisely. So I'll save. Not that it puts you back too far anyways. Because this will kill me if it happens, because it's the double penalty. Alright, well, I've got it. I've got it right here.
Intriguing. Let's see what you've got. Show us proof that someone was hiding in the noodle stand.
Okay, I mean, if it's gonna be anything, I think it's gonna be the slippers, right? Because why would anyone else? Because Oh, I'm not actually at double penalty anymore. The Maractus Clinic, and they're covered with paint. These slippers were found in a trash can near the crime scene. And a single slipper print was found at the scene, right next to the noodle stand. Oh, and Miss Tiola, your toe print was found in the left slipper. In other words, this is the proof that you were inside the noodle stand. Yet there was only one slipper mark found at the scene. Can this be called a footprint in good faith? Yeah? Observe the diagram. A park pathway runs right next to the slipper mark. It wasn't muddy there. A slipper wouldn't leave a trace on a cobblestone path. Yet you still cannot say that this is a footprint, yeah? Why not? You have an impression left by a single slipper. What if it was on the stand and simply fell to the ground? There was a leaf on the bottom? That's just dumb! One more thing. A noodle stand is typically cluttered with the tools of the noodle-making trade. There's no room for a person to ride in there. Sure there is.
You have a point.
Ah, no, but all the stuff was left outside. It was left away.
Could someone have hidden in that stand?
Apollo, I think I might be onto something.
I think I figured out one of our pieces of evidence. In order to make room in the stand, some things would have to be... Well, Mr. Justice, do you have proof that someone could have hidden in the stand?
I can prove one thing. Someone did scheme to clear the space in that stand. Objection! Wait, take that, I meant! This is a noodle bowl from the stolen Eldoon's noodle stand. Oh my god.
Yes, and what about it?
We discovered a large quantity of these bowls yesterday. In the lobby of the Maractus Clinic!
A large quantity of noodle bowls in the victim's clinic.
Mr. Eldoon was very clear about those bowls.
Well, I don't care who did it. Without that stand, I'm finished. All my noodle bowls were in there, too.
Yet the bowls were removed! That night, there was space inside that noodle stand. Space created at the Maractus Clinic, no less. Right around the time that you were there, Miss Alita Tiala!
Stop!
Stopped.
I won't listen to any more of these wild fantasies. No, not fantasies. They're worse lies than that spoiled brat's pickup lines.
I can only imagine.
You so fine, Snapple Cakes!
I would like to remind the witness of her current status. This court does not consider you entirely innocent.
Show me an innocent. I'll show you a fairy tale.
Damn, that's cold. In any case, the defense has somehow made its point. The witness had both a motive and an opportunity to kill Dr. Maractus.
More fairy tales. This whole trial is a fairy tale.
Then please, pull us back down to reality, Miss Tiala.
Dang, this is so intense and high speed, this one, right at the end here.
I'm giving you one last chance to explain yourself.
This is it. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand that night? And what was Alita Tiala doing inside it? Time to get to the bottom of this case.
Is this the last one? Ooh, it could be!
That night, I went to ask Dr. Maractus for the chart. I had no intention of ever letting that chart fall into the Kataki family's hands. But Dr. Maractus didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Katakis had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him.
What about the slippers, though, that have your toe prints in them? We've already covered this.
You knew about the botched operation, so you tried to get rid of the chart to save yourself. I won't make excuses. And I did warn the good doctor. I gave him a chance. I told him that the brat got his health checkup report, and that he was coming to settle the score.
I see. Very well. Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. This is the last testimony. Either I perceive the truth, or it's over.
You mean to say I'm going to get the bracelet again? Ah, you do. Okay.
What should I say? Dr. Maractus. Dr. Maractus for the chart. I had no intention of ever letting that chart fall into the Kataki family's hands, but Dr. Maractus didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Katakis had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. Okay, I feel like this is going to be probably one. Ah, she's hiding the ring, so I can't see it anymore. What do you think, Trucy and Apollo? This is my last chance.
Apollo, any word from your bracelet?
Yeah, actually. I felt it respond.
I couldn't see a thing. It's up to you, Apollo.
Time to perceive the truth. Here comes justice!
Alright, well, this is the only one where her ring's visible, unless she's got a different thing now. I'll try it here. I'm missing all the funny dialogue that I'm sure is there for pressing, but I need to I need to keep this game moving. I'm so eager to get to the next case and all. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. Oh, she's got another habit, all of a sudden. She's, twizzling with her ascot or whatever. Is it an ascot? I don't really know.
Gotcha!
I figured it would be on that one, even though the ring wasn't visible in that one.
All I did was talk. And lie.
What? Show me proof.
I'm pretty sure about this one. I think I'm getting the hang of this. A little slip in confidence and they give it all away.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it would be on the last one because that one just was the most that seemed like it would be the most incriminating if it were false.
The proof is you, Miss Tiala. All I did was talk to him, you claim. Yet you can't hide your own nervous twitch when you say those words.
I feel like you can't just keep saying, they twitched, whenever there's something you don't like. But I mean, obviously for the purpose of the story, it makes sense. Because he's got superpowers, apparently.
My twitch? What are you talking about? You have a habit of scratching the area of your neck around the edge of your scarf.
What?
This is working better than I'd hoped. Her unconscious actions tell the truth she won't say. Habits and lies. 2 dots. Connect the dots and find the truth.
Just don't look at me like that. I told you the truth.
It seems that when you recall what really happened in that office, You can't keep your hands off your neck, can you? It seems that nervous habits are unconscious reactions that manifest when someone is trying to... Yeah, I think we know what it is, but thank you for the recap. You can't hide behind your scarf, Miss Tiala. Something happened between you and the victim in the Maractus Clinic office. And I've got proof that shows exactly what happened.
I hope he's talking about the bullet.
Take that!
I knew you were bluffing.
Huh?
I could tell by the way you fondled your spiky hair.
She found my habit!
Damn it! Better rethink this. Okay, when we found them... Oh, the lamp! I'm an idiot, sorry. When we found the Maractus Clinic office, there were signs of a struggle and a bullet in the safe. Miss Tiala was willing to do anything to get that chart. So something happened. But what? You can't hide behind your... okay. Sorry about that. That was just silly on my part. Pretty sure the lamp is what matters.
Take that!
What's that? You're touching your scarf again. There's something unusual about this lamp. The bulb is broken, and there's a red splotch on the cord. Seeing how you hide your neck, I think I can come up with a plausible explanation for the lamp's state. Well, spit it out. This talking in circles nonsense is killing me. Very well. The answer is very simple. Miss Alita Tiala, please remove your scarf. Sorry. But, sorry. So we didn't think it looked like blood, though. So what's underneath there? Is it just like a red mark? This is a trial to determine what happened in that park, yet we seem to have drifted off target. We'll find out soon enough if we're drifting, as soon as the witness removes her scarf. I won't do it. This is insane. I'm an unrelated third party. You can't order me to remove my clothing.
Miss Tiala, I'm afraid you've forgotten what's already been proven.
What?
You're hardly unrelated. Please remove your scarf.
No.
No!
I couldn't do a long distended no, because it would really hurt me. I knew it. So I was right, wasn't I, Miss Alita Tiala? Your neck. That isn't what I think it is. Is it? What is it? Like a strangle cord? Like a strangling mark? Something did happen that night at the Maractus Clinic. You needed to get that chart back no matter what it took. Even if you had to steal your fiancé's pistol to do it.
But wait, looking at this lamp and the witness's neck, it looks like the very opposite happened.
Exactly. The victim in the clinic that night was this witness. Specifically, you tried to threaten Dr. Maractus and he attacked you. That's what happened in that night in the Maractus Clinic. Like an elder story. Wow, that was a loud scream.
Order! 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 Will someone please tell me what really happened?
I told you the truth already. I went to the clinic that night to warn Dr. Maractus. Look at his face. That gangster knows everything. He's coming for you. I don't have a voice for Maractus.
Looks like my clinic's seen its last patient.
We have to get rid of that chart. Quick, open your safe. Give it to me.
So you can save your own skin?
What?
I know what you're up to. You want in with the family, and if they see that chart, you're finished. Leaving me holding the short straw. But if I'm going down, I'll want some company. You!
And what happened next? He jumped at me and knocked me to the floor. Then he took that cord. Pal Maractus was serious. Deadly serious. He really tried to strangle me. Not good. I must have blacked out. But then who was in the noodle stand that shot him if you were blacked out when all that happened?
So, you were the victim.
And the red splotch on the cord was your lipstick. Ah, okay. I guess that makes enough sense. I was thinking, I was starting to wonder if maybe it was her makeup, but then I was like, you don't have makeup, you don't have blush on your neck. I don't think. I didn't want to remember that night. That's why I didn't bring it up. There. Are you happy now? I was out cold, almost killed. And you claim I then snuck into that noodle stand. But how could I? I don't know.
Well, one thing is clear.
Is there another day to this?
We now know what really happened at the Maractus Clinic, and it would seem that our victim was not entirely without blame himself.
I'm sorry. I get so nervous just thinking of it. It's hard to breathe. I've told you everything. Can I go home now?
You bear some responsibility for the events that day, it's true. Yet, if you were also a victim, this court would owe you some sympathy. Well, Mr. Justice, I believe this clears up the remaining questions from Miss Tiala.
When did this happen? Suddenly everyone's sympathizing with her.
I don't know what to think anymore, Apollo. I mean, is that it? Do we know everything we need to know about Miss Tiala? I mean, it still doesn't explain the bit with the slippers and all that.
Very well. This finishes the cross-examination of this.
Objection! It was him. I didn't need to say anything. I don't ever need to say anything when objection happens because they already voice it. Sweet riff, bro. Not so fast. This party's just getting started. Now, we rock.
What?
Those spikes on your head are softer than they look. Or do you not have the stomach to go all the way?
Prosecutor Gavin?
Palmeractus choked Alita Tiala. She fell unconscious. But what happened next? He's right. There is more we don't know.
But she was choked hard enough to leave that mark. She would have been out for a while.
Even still, what if it was her in that noodle stand?
Alita Tiala, half dead. Dr. Maractus pulling that stand. And a bullet fired from inside the noodle stand.
Oh, maybe he thought she was dead and he was trying to dispose of the body. Oh, and the noodle stand was close and it was a way to hide it while he was dragging it along. That actually makes a lot of sense. What if it's all true? We might have already figured out what truly happened that night.
Miss Alita Tiala, as you can see, we're not through with you just yet.
You really want to blame me for this murder, don't you? You too, Prosecutor Gavin? That was not a question. Me, Fräulein, I only wish to know the truth.
Well, let's go back over what we learned up till now. On the day of the murder, Walkie saw his checkup report, from which he learned about the bullet still inside him, so he took a pistol from this family's stash.
It's looking like maybe not a day 3 now. We might be able to wrap this up right now.
With the intent to give Dr. Maractus some of his own medicine.
And Miss Tiala heard about this from Walkie, so she went to the Maractus clinic ahead of him, in order to get rid of the chart with her signature.
But then, something happened.
Sounds like you figured it all out. But remember, I was the victim. I was out cold.
But what about Dr. Maractus?
That does seem to be the problem. He had just strangled Alita Tiala, perhaps he thought to death. What did he do after his crime? I was just knocked out, not dead. From the state of his clinic and the scene in the park, I think it's clear what the good doctor did next. Well, Herr Forehead, care to guess?
Well, Mr. Justice, what did Maractus do?
Doctor.
Maybe he did think he killed Alita Tiala. Do I have evidence to show what he did next?
That's a good question there, boyo.
The hit and run had already happened by then, yes? Yeah, so that's not what's going on now. I'm not wait a minute. Well, he says do I, but I definitely do, because they didn't give me a chance to say no. Could that be so that he took off her things? Her sandals and put on the slippers of her? But then why? I mean, okay, we know for sure she would have gone in there wearing her sandals, because why would she already have slippers when she got there? There's no reason for her to have picked up slippers before going in to confront him, and then he strangled her and she was out cold. At no point in there could she have intentionally put on the slippers, but they were on her nonetheless because of her toe print, which must mean he put the slippers on her for some reason, and then put her in the back of the noodle stand, and then that footprint we saw was her getting out and running away. Well, this is gonna kill me if I'm wrong, but
take that! Does evidence show what he did next?
That's very generic and suggests to me that it's not at all what happened. Shows what, Herr Forehead?
Your smile has a sort of sick desperation to it, Mr. Justice. And for that, I will now kill your case. That's enough. I see no need to further prolong this trial. The defense's case is insufficient to overturn the prosecution's claims. This court finds the defendant, Walkie Kataki, guilty.
Damn it.
The defendant will surrender himself to the court's care. to undergo a regular trial at the High Court within a month's time. Court is adjourned.
I was wrong.
Please let me have that sweet retry.
What, this smile?
Oh, it just puts me with full health right back there.
Let's try again, shall we? Well, Mr. Justice, what did Dr. Maractus do?
It's so weird how it's like, why is there even a health system if it just puts you right back? I guess well, I don't know. Just to make you feel bad. Okay. Cheese. Oh, wait, unless they just want me to say put her in the noodle stand. And that was the thing he did next. Oh, okay. I thought that was implied. Sorry, my bad.
As his next move, Dr. Maractus stole Guy Aldoon's noodle stand.
What, killing me disturbed him that much? So much he randomly stole a noodle stand?
It wasn't so random. Remember all the bowls in the clinic's foyer? Bowls that belonged inside the stand? I think it's pretty obvious, don't you? That stand was at the clinic. However, the question is, why did he remove the bowls?
Maybe because the stand was heavy. Why would you want to be able to move it quickly, though? And why would you want space inside? Why would you already have that predetermined?
Or he wanted to put something in the stand in their place.
Wait, you don't mean...
I do. Dr. Maractus did replace those bowls with something. Your corpse, Miss Yala.
My corpse?
Dr. Maractus panicked. He thought he'd killed you.
His next move would be to dispose of the body. That's crazy talk. You're all crazy.
I'm very not. Then let's think about it logically. The doctor had a place to dispose of you in mind. But on his way there, who should he run into but the defendant, Walkie Kitaki?
I question your logic. What's this, Prosecutor Gavin? The park has a dead end. Why would he head in that direction to begin with?
That's right. He had no reason to go there.
Oh, now I get it. It was a trick. That spoiled brat made him do it. He made the doctor steal the stand.
Tell me, why would someone go to a dead end? Unless the park was his destination. What?
Apparently defense has an idea. Tell us where Dr. Maractus was heading with the stand. Here, please show us on this diagram. To where exactly was the victim dragging that stand?
Oh, to the road, to make it look like his hit and run was how. Wait. Am I right about this?
There?
That's a river. Oh, it's a river? I didn't know that.
Yes, Your Honor. I scarcely need to explain why.
A perfect place to dispose of a body. Okay, I take that all back. I thought that was the road just there, like the road outside Depot Park.
He was going to throw me into that river?
He didn't have many other options, Fräulein.
I believe this clears up all of the remaining questions. The victim pulling the stand and the defendant before him. And inside the stand, you, Miss Lady Tiala. And then the denouement, as Christoph would say. Wesley Stickler of panty snatching fame walks up. Seeing the two men, he shouts. In that instant,
he turns his head, but it takes a while for it to go down. And then the top of the stand flew off.
So, I shot him. You were the only one who could have stolen Walkie's pistol. It had to be you.
I feel like that was kind of proved even without saying, well, I mean, I guess. I thought it was implied that Maractus took the stand, because I thought we, brought that up already. Anyways.
Well, Miss Tiala?
Nice work. You mean I'm right?
I mean, you've done a fine job dreaming up a story to get that spoiled brat off the hook. You're the one who's dreaming. Apollo's backed up everything he said with facts. If you're so sure he's making it up, give us another reason. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand through the park?
Who knows? But there's one gaping hole in your logic. I think Mr. Gavin knows whereof I speak. Whereof of what? I still can't believe she's still trying to deny this.
Is this true, Prosecutor Gavin?
Must I always be the one to point out Mr. Herr Forehead's errors?
Maybe there's really something?
I believe the Fräulein speaks of Herr Doctor's car.
His car?
That's right. The Maractus Clinic has that big garage.
In which sat a green sports car, was it?
Why would he steal the stand in the first place? If he wanted to carry a body, he would have used his car. And so we find our victim without probable cause to steal that stand, and our defense without a case. I have an idea. You know that green car? I bet it wouldn't run. It was broken. What an excellent counter-argument, Fräulein. Too bad you're quite wrong. Don't tell me you've forgotten what happened to your daddy. Hey, wait, hey, now there were undergarments in the exhaust pipe. You said it yourself, Gavin. The frickin' thing, they don't run if they have stuff in the exhaust pipe. Ah!
That's right. That night, the car that hit Mr. Wright was that green sports car.
Oh yes, I'd nearly forgotten about it.
Afterward, he drove it back to that garage. It ran fine.
That's right. So why didn't he use his beloved sports car, hmm? A glaring contradiction, to be sure. More glaring than your forehead.
I don't know why. No! My hair is way more insultable than my forehead.
Order! Well, Mr. Justice, why didn't Dr. Marcus use his car to carry the body?
Is that a groan of surrender, I hear?
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. Are you trying to help?
Everything I've learned.
Mr. Justice's contradiction cast about doubt on your entire case.
Not really.
This is truly your last chance. The defense will explain to us what happened that night.
Someone else still to stand.
The car didn't run! I have an idea. It's all coming together. That night, Dr. Maractus couldn't use his car.
Now you're making even less sense than usual.
Not according to my information, Miss Tiala. Put 1 and 1 together, and the explanation is simple. 2!
If it's so simple, perhaps you can show us some evidence. Show us proof why the car wouldn't run that night.
Bing!
Let's see now. Panties? Again?
Promise! Last time! I promise!
All sorts of things come out of my panties. Even the truth.
Another crime was committed the night of the murder. The theft of these panties. The latest in a string of similar thefts, actually. But that night, the snatcher was caught in the act. A brave young girl chased the thief until he hid in the Maractus Clinic garage.
What?
The snatcher hid the panties there before running. Perhaps someone in this court remembers where he hid them?
Why, weren't they found in the car's exhaust pipe?
Exactly. By the way, I learned something yesterday. A very important piece of information. And I learned it from you, Prosecutor Gavin!
So you were here investigating? And I was on my way home when my hog gave up the ghost.
Your hog?
My motorcycle won't start. Clogged exhaust pipe. Too bad. It looks like such a nice bike, too. Hard to believe that it could just break just from that. Cars, motorbikes, they're all the same. Clog the exhaust and they won't run. When I said that, I found it was like... I was pretty sure that they were trying to lead me on to something there. But I wonder if that's just like a gameplay thing, like they were just like trying to be like, hey, look at that sneaky callback we did, or if it's like evidence that Gavin is trying to help us. Because that wouldn't be new in this world.
My, how interesting.
While Miss Tiala and the doctor were struggling, the panty snatcher snuck into the Maractus garage. From that time until the time we found these, that car wouldn't start.
What? That's why Dr. Maractus had to use the noodle stand. It was the next closest thing he could think of.
Well, Miss Tiala, this wraps up your doubts up quite nicely, I think.
So it does? Where am I? So dark, I can't see. Cramped. The pain. My throat's burning. What's your problem?
You, Doc! I know what you did!
Waki?
You lied to me! So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, man!
He really likes that line, doesn't he? Because he's a doctor and all that.
Wait, let me explain.
Fine. I'll give you your last request.
Listen, you're being tricked, but not how you think. It's not just me. No, he'll ruin everything. I have to stop him.
He says it wants you to. Thanks, Clavier. You're really helping the awkward mood in this courtroom right now. Whole lot of eye contact going on right now.
Funny.
This isn't the way it was supposed to turn out. Oh well. Too bad. Yeah, that's probably a normal thing to say.
There's still one mystery. How did you manage to disappear from that stand?
In the silence after the shot, I heard the witness running. I believe we heard as much... My eye is itchy. Sorry. I believe we heard as much from Wesley Stickler. He went to use a public phone to inform the police. Which is when I made my escape.
God, my eye. Which is when you left that slipper print.
Dr. Maractus didn't bother taking my slippers off. I threw them out after I stepped in that paint, though. So you were wearing the clinic slippers? I don't understand. Is that just a thing that you do when you go into clinics? Maybe it's I don't know. I threw them out after I stepped in that paint, though.
That was your mistake.
No, my biggest mistake was coming to you for help, Mr. Justice.
Ah.
I believed in you. You and your anything agency. If anyone would get Waki declared guilty, it was you. Ouch. Jeez. Seems unnecessarily pointed. I get you're mad. Don't have to hurt my feelings.
I believe we've reached a conclusion of sorts. Prosecutor Gavin, how is Miss Alita Tiala doing?
She's confessed to everything. We're processing her arrest now. Prosecutor Gavin sure seems calm for someone who just lost.
I think he already knew. He figured out she was the killer a while ago.
Some advice, now's a good time to review all you know. Yeah, I figured at that point he could have just stuck the last stake in my heart, but he didn't. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days.
He lost, but I didn't exactly win either.
Hmm? Is something the matter, hair forehead?
Looks like it's time to announce a verdict. Not guilty.
Go us! Go team, go!
Court is adjourned.
Still though, poor Tiala, who would have thought Maractus would just come at her like that, and she killed him, kinda in self-defense, but it's still murder. June 17th, 4:12 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Obviously she did some pretty bad stuff, but... Great job, Apollo, you did it!
Yeah, we did, somehow.
Waki's off the hook. Free to become the gangster he's always wanted to be, and he has you to thank. Hey, I guess that's gonna be Waki, right?
Hey, attorney man! You're gonna pay for what you did to my Alita Holmes!
Or to blame, I guess.
You give me my Alita back! Stupid pointy-head attorney with a death wish!
Enough, Waki. Who dis? Oh, enough, Waki.
I'm Mr. Kataki.
It's high time you opened your eyes, Waki.
What do you know, old man? I think it's about time you open yours! Giving up to life, trying to become some kind of businessman!
Don't talk about what you don't understand, Waki. I'm afraid the guard is going to throw them both out.
If not in jail, wouldn't that be a happy ending?
Hey, maybe we can help them out. We know why Mr. Kataki needs to make so much money. Maybe we should tell Waki. Oh, Waki, Apollo has something to tell you. Oh, this is the bit where at the end of the case they make you present some bit of evidence. And wait, why would he need... Wait, hang on. Oh, I guess the evidence... Unless am I allowed to present faces? Because if the evidence, it'll be Waki if it's not a piece of evidence. Well, I'll wait till they ask me. Oh, Waki, Apollo has something to tell you.
I do? Way to put me on the spot. What's that?
Show him the reason why, Apollo.
Why is Mr. Kataki trying to become a businessman?
Oh, I can't show people. First, family. Hang on, okay. So attorney badge, no. Map, no. Mirror, no. Bowl, no. Undergarments, no. Cell phone, no. Fingerprints, no. Death report, no. Knife, no. No. For Miss Bloomer? for Miss Plum's bloomers. No. 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 I guess... to care for Waki. I know what they're trying to get at is that there's something for his family, right? But I don't know what piece of evidence does that specifically. I'm gonna try this. If you get these wrong, nothing bad happens. It just, you don't get some wholesome optional dialogue.
Take that! Think about it, Waki. Think about your condition. I talked with your mother, Little Plum, yesterday.
It pays, but we need a lot of money right now. Clean money, that is.
She doesn't mean... You aren't really... Are you?
Oh man, he's got it. This is the first time we've seen this him look like this.
I searched the globe, and I found one.
A doctor who can take that bullet out of you, Walkie.
Oh, that's good. Jeepers. I was gonna like, if they're really just gonna like, we save him and he dies, that would have been like the darkest. I mean, Ace Attorney has had some dark patches before, but it hasn't been like that. I thought this guy was wearing shades. Are those just his eyebrows? I think they might be.
But it's an expensive procedure.
Man, but you got plenty of money already, don't you?
I won't use it. It was the gangster life that did this to you, Walkie. I want to help you, and I want to do it clean.
Oh my god, they are his eyebrows.
Please understand, Walkie.
Dad. Man. I see how it is, old man. Always you looking out for...
Walkie?
Listen, Gold, old man. One day, I'm gonna take you out. And then we'll see who's the OG. You try to hide in your business suit, I'll find you. Stupid old geezer.
Damn. Walkie?
Oh, it's as it should be.
Mr. Kataki. I liked him more without the poppy dog eyes.
I'm glad to have met you. I'm not so good with words, but I know a professional job when I see one. Thank you.
Who, me? I don't think...
Someday, I'll bake you one of our latest, the Kentucky lime pie.
Ooh, lime pie sounds good. I'm not sure I've ever had lime pie.
He's opening a pie shop?
So long.
Bye. Oh man, I really thought Walkie was gonna come around there.
And he was gone.
Well, let's head back, Apollo, to the Right Anything Agency.
Hey, since when do I work at your agency?
Ah, we make a good team. Don't just stand there, let's get going.
Why not? She did help me out. And there's a few questions that still need answers.
Regarding Phoenix, I take it you mean?
Like this power of mine that she showed me. And my bracelet. If anyone can help me figure it out, it's her.
Questions about yourself too, I take it. And that's the end of this trial?
Though I can't say I care much for what her father has become.
Oh, that's right, we have to go someplace first.
Huh? Where?
Why, to claim a reward from Mr. Eldoon. Some noodles, yeah, I figured that was coming.
Ah, salty noodles. Right. You got his stand back already?
Oh, and after that, you can come see my show with a special appearance by the amazing Mr. Hat. So I know what he looks like, but thanks. Oh, we're special, all right.
Please. Anything but him.
The end. What a great end to only the second case of this game. There are still two more. Oh, this one's got Clavier in the cover. Turnabout Serenade. That's nice. Day 1 investigation. Well, that is going to be... Well, that's at least what... Oh, no, we can stay on the menu here. Well... Hey, what's episode 4 like? Oh, Kristoff. I had some idea he... Oh, I shouldn't... Is this spoiling it for myself? Oh, I can actually just start the episode 4. Okay, let's not do that, though. We gotta do episode 3 first. Kristoff's coming back, though. I knew it. I guess I could have seen that from any point if I had just checked on the menu screen. But anyways, we'll be starting episode 3. Don't you believe you me? Next time on Apologist and Ace Attorney. Thank you very much for coming around and seeing this. This is so cool. This is such a good game to do, just to play. It's such a good game. I love these so much. So the later cases, they just tend to get longer as they go along. So I wouldn't say we're exactly halfway, because I think the first case was still a touch shorter than the second one. So we're maybe like 30-40% of the way through, and then we'll be getting into these. And I mean, we'll see how hard and long these ones are. Sorry. We'll see how difficult and lengthy they are. Difficult and time-consuming. But that'll all be coming later. I cannot wait, because I don't really get Gavin's gambit here. Sorry for the alliteration. Because, like, with Edgeworth in the original trilogy, Edgeworth and Phoenix's relationship, we understood why Edgeworth cared about him and why he was trying to help him and all that. And he kind of, like, had all that. And there was all that stuff about, like... I'm sorry if this is spoiling it for anyone who hasn't seen the first 3, but like he kind of forgot what he wanted from when he was a kid. Like he sort of was all about protecting those who couldn't protect themselves, which is what he did with Phoenix and all that, and that's why Phoenix and he had that relationship. And then he lost all that because like he got like exposed to the harsh realities of the world or whatever when his father got killed and all that. So you understood why that urge to help was buried in him somewhere, and we don't have that with Gavin yet. But that is Clavier, but I'm expecting we will. For that end, we don't really know what Kristoff's deal was. We don't know if he was. We don't still fully know if he was a bad dude or not. Like we only think that I mean, I only have any inkling that he was wrong because he's against Phoenix, and I tend to think of Phoenix as being in the right, but obviously that's not always true. But that's just where my perspective is on that right now. So I can't wait to get more perspective particularly from the Gavin brothers on this, but that'll be all next time on Apollo Justice State's Attorney. So thank you very much for coming around, and hopefully Trucy and Phoenix and I will see you in the next old darn old case here, boy, in this old game here. Thank you very much, and Admiral's gonna be out of here. See you around. Peace.
But look, I'm worried about us.
We don't have that kind of relationship, Miss Person, whoever you are who is part of me.
We need a hobby, but this... I know it sounds crazy, but I need to climb this mountain. You are many things, darling, but you are not a mountain.